Hello, and welcome to Silicon Valley Girls Chat Over Tea. I'm Gloria.
And I'm Rosetta.
And thank you once again for joining us, or if it's your first time, thanks for coming to hang out with us for a little bit. We always like to set the space before we get started. We like to be in a space of kindness, love, caring, compassionate, because we think those ingredients will make the world a much better place.
Yes, here. Love that.
Yes.
2 thumbs up.
All right, I love thumbs up.
All right. And before we get started, you know what I'm going to say. If you like our chat, which we hope you do, please hit the thumb icon. Don't forget, if you haven't, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell notification so you're the first to be notified whenever our chats are ready to be viewed, because I know you're all eager.
Yes.
All right. Today's tea we're drinking is, Gloria's going to say that. It's a new one.
This is orange clove. That just sounds really good.
Just sounds so like holiday-ish.
Yes.
Fall, festive.
We're getting into the spirit, not all the way into the Christmas because Thanksgiving is next week. We're just kind of moving forward into this holiday season. So the ingredients are organic orange flavor, citrus acid, organic orange peel oil. That's it. And you can also, they have what they call a proprietary blend. And in the blend, we have cinnamon bark, ginger root, cardamom, clove, orange peel, black pepper.
Yes.
That's right. Monk fruit extract for the sweetness, and astragala?
What's that?
Astragala root.
Oh, let me see.
Yes.
Oh, you're right. Astragalus root, whatever that is. I don't know what that is.
We don't know what that
We
is.
have no clue.
But that's a proprietary blend, and I love this because that means that it should be consistent every time.
Yes.
So
the brand is Yogi.
Yes.
Which we
and
like.
you know we love Yogi.
Yes.
All right.
And what we like about teas, especially on the tag, the tea tag, they have a little saying.
Yes.
And my saying says, inner peace creates peace in the world.
Oh, I love
that. Very
that.
nice.
And mine says, let your need be to help those in need. That's
wow,
beautiful.
I like that as well.
Yes.
Very nice.
And this particular brand, Orange Clove, supports immune function. So as we continue and prepare for the upcoming season, that's something. We want to make sure our immune system is strong. Oh, great smell.
It's just so great. It smells of cloves and orange and just really, really nice.
So we've been letting it seep for a little while. Gonna kind of wake it up. I love this. Oh, it smells amazing.
All right. Cheers, everyone. Ooh, I like that.
Oh, I do too.
Orangey taste. Bit of the spice.
I like that a lot.
It's very refreshing.
Yes, I like it.
It's really nice and warming on a cold day like today.
On a cold day. We're outside. We've got lots of wind, so this is lovely.
Yes. Love it. Love it.
So as we get started on our chat, the first thing is today is National Absurdity Day and National Child's Day. And what's really cool about those two, the combining, is children. Children are light and gay, and whereas someone might think, oh, that's absurd, to a child, it's just fun.
Very nice.
And I love that. I love that. So remember that while you're out today. Kind of think of the day in a child's view.
Yep, exactly.
So our thoughts and prayers go out to the universe because we've got to learn to love one another. So as you go on with your journey with us today, we want you to know that our focus is on love and compassion. We walk that way. We lead everything that we do that way. So the first thing we're going to talk about, the president-elect has been busy adding members to his cabinet.
Yes.
I think he only has 10 more slots and he'll be full. So they're two new.
Yes, there are. He just added 2 more TV stars to his administration.
Yes, he loves TV personalities for his cabinet members.
Yeah, I'm not sure why, but he does. And the first one is a lady. She is the WWE's co-founder, Linda McMahon, and she's going to be the education secretary.
Okay.
That's the first one. The second one is Dr. Mehmet Oz. You all know Dr. Oz, and he's going to be the head center for Medicare and Medicaid services. So those are the 2 new people that he has in his administration that he just elected.
We don't know what those roles are going to look like yet, as we hear of interesting ones. And since this is health, it's important to all of us because it will affect all of our health care going forward. So I don't know who doesn't know who Rita Moreno is. She is an amazing performer, and years ago she did a movie and a Broadway play, West Side Story. She is fabulous, and one of the things I love about her is not too long ago she went to, like, say, an Oscar event, and she wore the same dress. She had it chopped up a little bit different than when she initially wore it. But do you know how hard it is to be able to wear the same outfit years and years later?
Yes, very difficult. If you know anything about how age plays a role in how your body is shaped and how it forms over the years, that's very hard. Very, very hard.
But you said that you just heard something that you weren't aware of.
I wasn't. She was on the show, The Talk, if any of you out there watch that show. And I did not know, but she actually dated Elvis Presley, among others, which I did not know about. And it's surprising because she has met so many amazing famous people, like Fred Astaire, and she's hilarious because she talks about all the people and back in the days who she would meet and all these different stories. But I also found out, and I'm very excited, that on Netflix she has a show called, I wrote it down, A Girl Who Just Decided to Go For It, on Netflix. So I will be watching it. Will you be watching it?
Yes, I will, because I think that is amazing.
Yeah.
You know?
So we would like to watch it, and we were going to chit-chat about it.
Absolutely. So once it's out, we'll check it out, and then we'll make it part of our
I
conversation.
think it's already out. So we'll do a search for that, and then we'll watch it as soon as we can.
Yes, and then we'll get back to you.
Yes.
So, you know, our focus this year is on our children, and I cannot believe that we are approaching the end of November and the beginning of December.
Next week is Thanksgiving. This week has just, I was just thinking about this. This month has flown by because I was thinking we have like a few more weeks till Thanksgiving.
Yes.
It's a week from tomorrow. I can't believe it.
I can't believe how fast time is moving. And one of the things that we want to do is keep our focus on our kids because there's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of possible changes to our children's future. And so, you know, we had a conversation with you all about backpacks and why they were not allowing the kids to have lockers anymore. And I understand with, you know, there are issues with them bringing knives or guns to school, or the fact that people were like selling drugs. So I understand they're trying to minimize it. And it got us to start thinking a lot about the backpacks. And even though there is new technology out there, how's that technology going to affect our kids? You know, like with AI. So on one hand, some kids will excel because they have a pad, and on their iPad or their tablet, they'll have all the information, and they will have little tidbits, things that'll help them, like what is that? CPT chat.
Chat GPT.
Chat GPT. And then there's another one.
The Google has Gemini now.
Gemini.
Google Gemini.
So they have these tools. And so if you are a visual person, these might be great tools for you. But what happens if you're not? What if you're not someone like I learn best when I write it with my hand. I can write it on a pad or something, but it's not the same as pen to paper. So if someone has training and classes and education and it's all AI and technology based, how is that going to work?
Yeah, I just feel that some kids will excel because I just think that the new generation, which is now, I'm not talking about the Gen Alphas because they're a bit too young.
Right.
They're still young, like in their 10, 11, 12-year-olds.
Right.
I'm talking about like the Gen Zs. They're the ones that have all these great like resources and technology in the palm of their hands.
Right.
And I think that we as in my generation and Gloria's generation, we're just like so in awe by all this technology.
Yeah.
Wow, what amazing things that these young kids can do.
Right.
But on the other hand, it can be kind of overwhelming because these kids might think because I have all this technology,
right.
I'm expected, the pressure is there
Yes.
to do something with all these resources like AI, to technology, to write programs.
Yeah.
And I'm wondering, hopefully we're going to see some really amazing things come out of these kids
Right.
that are just go-getters. But some
Right.
of these kids might just feel really pressured and overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And then what happens to them? They just get really depressed.
Yes.
And here lies that mental health issue where people, the parents or the adults are thinking, wow, you have all this technology. Why don't you do something
Right.
with it?
Right.
Why are you wasting your days doing other stuff? So it's just like when kids have influencers on TikTok or Instagram,
Right.
they feel the need to have to be at that level, like to compete with these influencers.
Yes.
And they feel the same way with all this tech. I have so much pressure, I have so much work to do to live up to a certain standard.
Yeah.
How much pressure are we putting on these kids, let alone everything else they have to deal with in this world?
Exactly. Our children are going to have to face, how do I segue from physical books and paper to tablet work? Our children are already starting to have chronic ailments, their necks from being, down looking at a pad, the carpal tunnel with their little wrists, swipey, 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 swipey. So they're already having problems related to repetitive action. And then AI-powered learning can personalize the experience for each student.
Yes.
Okay? Adapting to their learning styles, and they can be paced for their preferences. However, can they also provide real feedback? Because some of this AI is intuitive. You ask it a question, and not only does it answer, but it can also give you options. You can do option 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, the other thing is it gives real-time feedback. So when you ask a question, it gives you a response. You can do targeted interventions to help the students learn. You can automate time-consuming tasks, like for our teachers, like grading and lesson planning, to help the teachers be a little bit more efficient with this. However, what happens if this is not in that child's wheelhouse?
Or they just, it doesn't come natural to them.
Right.
They're struggling with
Right.
this. Because not every child needs to be like tech savvy just because
Right.
we have the technology, the resources.
Right.
So we have to remember that we have to really look into each child, especially parents, and see, not put pressure on them on top of the
Yeah.
pressure they're getting from social media and the influencers. Like really like look into your child as an individual and see what they are interested in,
Yes.
and maybe what their capable of doing. Ask them.
Yeah.
Is this something that you want to do?
Do you like this?
Yeah.
Straight up. Do you like this technology? Does it make you feel comfortable? Because, there are certain movies that have been out for years, like iRobot. At a certain point, you're thinking to yourself, not really. So, and I just thought of this last week, or maybe even, no, it was this week. There's a company, and this man used to make cars, and now he's making robots. And the first one went to Kim Kardashian. So there's a little skit where she blows a kiss, and the robot blows a kiss back to her. And she goes like this. She's like, can you do this? And it does that. Now, some people will look at that and say, this is awesome. And some people will not feel very comfortable having this thing in their space, mimicking what they're doing, which means it's watching and listening to their behavior.
Well, there is, talking about robots, there is a robot called Sophie. And Sophie has a sister. And you can Google this, because I've seen a interview with Sophie, I believe the name is Sophie, and Richard Branson. And Richard Branson is actually interviewing Sophie to see how well she is as an AI robot, interacting with him and allowing to really understand where he's coming from and showing the feelings. And he's asking all these questions, and it's very interesting, because I don't know, there's only so much a robot can do, because it's programmed by a human being.
Yes.
So there's a lot that needs to still go on into being robots will never be humans, because they just don't have the emotion attached to it. No matter how much you say, you can't do that. But check it out. It's a video with on YouTube, an interview with Richard Branson and this robot, which is kind of amazing, the responses that this robot has.
So from the robot perspective, it can help with repetitive tasks. It can personalize learning and offer insight from data, while that's the robotic technology side. And then the human side, with the human teacher, they can focus on student social and emotional and intellectual growth. And the technology side, that's where we get in a lot of the cyberbullying and things like that. Whereas a physical human teacher would say, not in my classroom. So that whole shift is going to have to be evaluated by not just the educational process and community, by parents. Parents are going to have to look at this and say, is this really how I want my child to be educated? I'm raising my child to be a kind, loving, conscious person, and then this technology takes all of that away, and it just, it's more about online social media and all of that. So it's a process, and we just want you all to be aware that this is something that Gen Z is currently working with, and Gen Alpha, it's going to be all over their lives.
I don't even know how. Right now, it's a wait and see how it evolves with the Gen Alpha, because they're still very young. So I don't even know what it's going to be after Gen Alpha. It's going to be Gen something. I think it goes back to A, and then it's B.
So Gen Beta, B, I don't know.
Something like that. So we'll have to see. But just keep in mind, as parents, as adults, try not to put too much pressure on the kids just because they have all this technology. But also be aware of how much they're using of this technology that might negatively impact them, like Gloria said, in regards to being on the, on their tablets all day, their cell phones with the neck bent, and then they're having carpal tunnel and just being secluded by themselves.
Make them get outside and play. I mean, our babies, from the minute they could, sit in a stroller, we were going to the park. And they would go to the park, and they would just be babies in the stroller, and they would get sunshine, and eventually they would be able to get out. They could crawl, they could walk, they would interact with other kids, because that is what is really missing from the technology, is that social interaction. Okay? We're going to keep an eye on it, and we hope you do the same. Dancing with the Stars, the semi-finale was last night. Did you watch? What did you think? Who did you like?
It was so action-packed.
Yeah.
They both did 2 dances, and who I really liked was Ilona March. Even though Chandler and Brandon, because they've been consistent all along, they probably had like one bad week.
But Carrie Ann kept taking points, talking about her foot came off the floor, and I'm like, I didn't see that. But,
actually, to be honest, I kind of saw that, I'm like, Carrie Ann's going to say something about that part, because something wasn't quite right there.
The foot comes off is considered a lift.
Yes, so she's been consistent, and we know she's going to do very well.
Right.
But who I really like right now is Ilona Mar and Alan.
Yes.
I'm telling you, Ilona I've noticed that if you look at her body shape has changed quite a bit since when she first started, because before she was quite wide-shouldered, muscular.
Yeah.
She's actually, and I don't know if it's just because I see her in these elegant outfits and stuff, that it makes her seem a bit more elegant and very just lean and not so.
But even the shaping of the garments where they're like low riding hip, whereas before she had on full clothing. I mean, she looks really
she's
good.
Really, and even semifinals, you can see that she's even put more effort and energy into it. Whereas I didn't really like this Steven guy.
He kind of fell apart.
I don't know. Yeah,
dance, you have to have rhythm. You cannot be a good dancer if you don't have rhythm. And at the beginning of his first dance, I'm trying to think, what was it? He was ahead of the music. You can't do that.
Yeah, they always talk about that being and then once you're ahead of the music, it kind of loses that momentum.
Yes.
Going through the whole...
when you're moving, the music is going da 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 da, and you're not with the music. So that makes it look bad.
But I really liked she's done an amazing job for her first season as a professional.
She's done a great job.
She really is, and she's so cute. I just love her.
Yes.
She just does a really good job in helping him. But I guess it just wasn't meant to be this week for them, because in both of their routines, they had something to say that was negative.
The first one was really bad, was 25. The second one was much better, but the first one was, I think they said that he kind of redeemed himself, because the total for the tango, he got, remember Carrie Ann gave him a 10.
Oh,
so that took him up to 29. So he ended with a 53. But all of them were very, very close. Like you, I thought Ilana, when she was in the red, I was like, oh my God, she just looked so strong. And one of the things I love about her is, even if she lifts him or he lifts her, it flows. It looks very,
it
very
doesn't
beautiful.
Seem boxy and strained like it used to.
Right. I am really surprised. Joey has surprised.
Oh, Joey was really good this week.
Joey was really good. His face, his facial features, his arms, his strength moves. He could probably, I don't remember what he does for a living. He's a golfer, I think, or something like that.
Yeah, I don't remember
tennis.
What he does.
It's either tennis or golf. He does something like that. He could do some dancing.
Yeah, he can, because he actually, this week, he seemed more comfortable.
Yes, he was more
fell
relaxed.
into all the music, and it seemed like it was just letting it flow.
Yes.
He wasn't in his head.
Right. And that was one of the things that they kept saying. And I love how Derek, in certain times, Derek reminds me of Lim, because, if it's bad, it's bad.
Right.
However, he always tries to give the appearance. So when Carrie Ann got off on, what is her name? Courtney, he came back around, and Derek said to Brandon,
oh, Chandler,
it's been wonderful watching you grow, because he has his choreography of her. I thought her name was Courtney. And is it
Chandler?
His choreography of Chandler has, not only does she look good, but the choreography, the dancing, the holes are just pristine.
Yes.
Great job.
Yes, I love that.
So that was really good.
And I really loved when Juliana Hough broke out of our outfit and started dancing.
Yes.
I miss her. She's an amazing dancer.
Excellent
she
dancer.
Really is.
She really is.
She just has it. She never forgets anything.
And the fact that her and Derek, when they dance together, I think it's because they've been dancing their whole life together. It's like flawless.
Yeah.
And then we had Whitney and Danny and Whitney, because Danny is the star.
Yeah.
You know, as an athlete, you know, even Derek gave him a standing, you know, ovation, because he's like, you're really getting into it. So he's not as high as some of the others, but he is consistent with his
he made it
performance.
this far into the semifinals.
Absolutely.
And I was very, very last two standing, because when they did the elimination this week,
Yes.
there was two couples standing, and you could see on Riley's face that she was about to burst into tears.
Yeah, because she thought they
She
were
knew
going
it.
home.
She knew it because they got the lowest scores. And
Right.
there's only one conclusion to that.
Yeah.
Is obviously how can they move on.
Right.
And it was so tense. And at the last minute, they said, and the couple leaving is nobody.
one.
You
Yes.
all go through to the
All
finals.
5 couples are going forward.
So I was so happy because I was so sad. I could just
I know.
imagine how people would react. So
Yes.
close yet so far away from the finals, and they get eliminated.
And it was the 2 Olympians that were up for elimination.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was another thing that I was happy to see that did not.
Yeah, I'm
happen.
so excited to see the
Yes.
final. It's going to be
Yes.
amazing. 3 hours.
Yes.
So
Get
who
ready.
are you voting for? Let us know.
Yes.
And we will report back
Yes.
and let you know. Amazing.
Absolutely. So, are you a Bachelorette person? Have you been watching? Well, Joan claimed her man last night.
Finally, after how
Finally.
many weeks?
Oh, I know.
It's been
and
quite,
how many men?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's been a nice journey for
It
these
has.
men. I've really enjoyed watching these men, and the men tell all last week, 2 weeks before was amazing. But did you think that it was going to be Chuck? I kind of had an idea
I
it
knew
was
it was
going to
gonna
be
be
him
Chuck.
from very early on when he left and
When
then
he
came
left,
back,
when his mom
passed away.
she was devastated. I mean, you know, she put him in the car, and then she just kind of sat down like quietly by herself, because you could just see the combination, the way they got along. The other thing is that she would, when she would talk to the guys, you know, like you'd look up and her and Chuck would be like off to the side
Yes,
somewhere.
yes.
There were all those little moments. I think she liked Guy, but one of the things about her that I truly respected is when she decided it was Choke, she no longer put Guy through all of that. In previous years, they go down to the final 2, they make them go out on these dates
And do the proposal
and do the thing with
at
the
end,
family,
yeah.
and then the guy goes to get down on his knees, and then they stop him and have him stand back up, and it's just kind of
Well, I'm
sad.
glad. I don't know, but that might still be happening in the regular Bachelor,
Right, it
Bachelorette.
might.
But the golden one, I'm so glad they don't
do that. And that's
Yeah.
one of the things I love about the Goldens is that, you know, those men who went into that house together, some of them would never ever end up engaging with each other. And they have come out of their lifelong friends. You know, even when Joan had to tell Guy that she wasn't going to put him through meeting her family, her heart belonged to someone else. You know, you could see the guys in the audience looking at how proud they were of that engagement between Joan and Guy.
Yeah,
So that was
these men are truly just
gentlemen.
genuine gentlemen, no animosity towards
No.
each other. They just want to be their peaceful friends.
Yes.
I mean, no like BS or any backstabbing. They're just really kind to each other.
Yes.
And they're all kind of friends in some way they've become friends outside of this, so which is really nice.
Exactly.
So now we don't have to go to Bachelorette.
I
anymore,
know
or
Joan
Bachelor
has a
anymore.
beautiful ring, you know, and like when Chuck met her family, he was confessing, I plan to be with her for the rest of her life. I love her. I want to take care of her. So we wish you a wonderful life together. I thought it was also cute that Grant was in the audience.
Yes.
And Grant got to see how the loving, kind aspect of this really is. And they even showed us a glimpse of his season. Oh my
Well, I
God.
actually didn't watch it because I didn't want to watch his
Okay.
the little snippets of his
So,
season coming
all I
up.
can say is, and I only watched, I saw the beginning and I thought, oh my God. So I just kind of walked away. It's not going to be the Golden Bachelor at all. It's going to be interesting. It looks like they're out of the country because that's what I was looking at. It's like they're in a castle. So that will be in January.
It's interesting that all these newer seasons of Bachelor are not just in the regular house that they have in LA. I like that. The yacht was nice, and then they went to Australia and different places. Oh, I love that. That was nice. Hawaii.
Yeah. It was beautiful. Just beautiful. So that'll be happening in 2025. So we'll get to see what Grant's life is like and if he's happy, or of course they don't give you any hints because then nobody would watch.
Yeah, but I like Grant. We'll have to see.
Absolutely. So our weather update, we have fires on both coasts. We have Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York is full of smoke and fire. And here on the West Coast where we are, it's Los Angeles, all along the southern border into Mexico. And ding, 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 it's starting to rain. So it's supposed to start raining today on both coasts. And then it's not going to just be a little bit of rain. It's supposed to be a lot of rain.
A few inches of rain.
Yes, 2 to 4 inches. Now, the most important component of this is the fact that because of the fires, we're not going to have the foliage and the trees to stop the water. So now they're panicking and worrying about flooding. So just be careful if you're out and about in any of these areas that have experienced fires recently, because it could look like it's only a half an inch deep and it could be 4 feet deep. Do not drive into standing water. Do not hike into standing water. Be very careful and very cautious.
And if you're in California where we are, because we haven't had a lot of rain, please remember that the first day of rain is the worst for you when you're driving.
Yes.
Do not drive like a maniac, like a lot of people I see do.
Yes.
They don't remember that you could just spin out.
Yeah. It could be very, very disastrous. So try and be careful when you're out and about. And, not that this is in your mind thought, we're going to put it out there for you. Consider someone else's life is as valuable. Just slow down a little bit.
Yep.
So we're at the end of our chat. We covered a lot. Did I get everything on our list?
Yes, we did.
All right. I want to make sure, because sometimes we stop recording and she goes, we didn't talk about da-da-da-da. And I go, oh, I'm so sorry. Sometimes we can pick it up the next week, or if life moves really fast, we can't. So we just wanted to make sure that you all are, let us know what we can talk about that you want to hear. One of the things that I have noticed is there's so many people that just don't talk about things, but they keep it all inside. Let's talk about it. The United States of America is a great place, and it's shifting a lot. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about the shifts. What do we like? What don't we like? Because we know through evolution, it will flip. We just have to keep our mind on the prize. What did Whoopi say? Sit back, watch, and eat.
Sit back, and she's just going to eat the popcorn and see how it plays out.
That's right. So that's all we can do. Don't be stressful. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be okay.
We hope.
We hope. So my name's Gloria Webb Williams. My company is Ancient Stones Nurture Natural, all natural mineral makeup manufacturer right here in Santa Clara, California. And my cohort is
Rosetta Chow. I'm a certified health coach at Simply Health. And I say your health matters. Very, very important. And I help you prevent and heal chronic disease, and help, as we're talking about our youngsters and our kids, I help families raise healthy children.
Yes.
Healthy children become healthy adults.
Yes.
And that becomes a healthy society.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, so there you have it. Your health matters, Rosetta Chow.
Excellent. So we want you to know that we appreciate the time we get to spend with you. We are getting ready for the holiday season. We're going to figure out some fun topics over the next few weeks before we shut down for the holiday season. So we want you to know that we feel the love in this room. We're so grateful for you and for your time. And we send it back to you, bubbling over.
Yes, we do. Thank you so much. And have you enjoyed our chat? If you have, why not hit the thumb icon, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell notification. All the usuals that you know that we always keep telling you to do. We are Silicon Valley Girls. Chat over our lovely delicious tea today.
Yes.
And remember to always keep smiling.
Bye.
Bye-bye.